Hello, this is Billy Core from the Nostalgia Mall, and as you may recall, back in July of this past year, I did a video showcasing a program called 98 Lite. And basically what 98 Lite was a piece of software that takes a lot of the bloaty features out of Windows 98 and lets it run a little bit faster. And it does that by removing the active desktop interface that Windows 98 was both famous and infamous for at the time, and replacing the Explorer shell with one similar to that of Windows 95. In fact, you actually have to use a few Windows 95 based files in order to do that. So, I had a comment on that video not too long ago asking if it was possible to use 98 Lite with Windows Millennium Edition, or more commonly known as Windows ME or Windows Mistake Edition, depending on where you stand on the whole Windows ME thing. So, I got to thinking, you know what? I recall reading that 98 Lite is extremely compatible with Windows ME, although I have never tried it. Reason for that is that I very rarely use Windows ME these days, and if I'm going to be putting 98 Lite on a computer that's running Windows ME, I'm going to be running Windows ME on something a bit more powerful, and there's really no need to run Windows 98 Lite on Windows ME. So yeah, word salad there, I apologize. So I've created a computer in PCM. We'll look at the system properties right here. Register to me, it's emulating a 233 megahertz Pentium MMX with a S3 Verge video card and a Sound Blaster 16 sound card. And right now, this is a extremely fresh install of Windows ME. Nothing about it has been modified as of yet, and nothing else has been installed either. This is just a plain old copy of Windows ME that hasn't had anything installed on it yet, but we're about to change that with 98 Lite. So I've got a 98 Lite ISO image, and the instructions for this are the same as the instructions for installing it in Windows 98 as you saw in my previous video. All you have to do is first just go to folder options and tell it we want to see all the hidden files. There we go. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take the contents of the CD drive, the CD-ROM. By the way, if you want the a copy of 98 Lite, I'm unable to provide that to you, unfortunately, but dig around online and I'm sure you'll come across it. And we'll go to the hard drive because I have the contents of the Windows ME setup files in Windows/options/cabs, which is how I always recommend installing 95, 98, or ME. So we'll copy that to the cabs folder here. And I guess it went on ahead and installed everything, so or copied everything, I should say. So we'll go to the Run dialog and just go to Windows/options/cabs/98 Lite. And as you can see here, 98 Lite allows you to customize Windows 98, Windows 98 SE, and Windows Millennium, which is what we're using right now. Again, I have never used 98 Lite on Windows ME before, but I do know for a fact that it is going to work. Again, I've just never had a reason to do this on a Windows ME computer. So, again, like with Windows 98, we want to do the shell swap, which is option 3. And we're going to go with the sleek option, which is number 1. That's going to give us the Explorer from Windows 95. I'm curious how the Windows 95 Explorer is going to look in Windows ME because there are a few design elements in Windows ME that quite differ from 95 and 98. So it's going to copy some files over, and modify a few things. So we'll let it do its thing for now. Okay, it's done with the first portion there, so it just wants us to press any key, and it will do a couple more things. And we'll tell it yes right here. You must restart your computer. We'll go ahead and do that. So take one last look at Windows ME as it appears now, because it's going to look completely different after the restart. Alright, let's see what it looks like, shall we? Okay, first it's got to do a couple more little things here, it looks like. And we got to restart again. I recall on doing this with Windows 98, there's not a restart at that point. It just goes straight into Windows, so it must be doing a little bit extra for Windows ME. Alright, here we go. Hopefully this is it. Okay, first thing I've noticed right off the bat is the My Computer icon is the Windows 95 98 style. It's changed that. Recycle bin icon looks the same. Let's go to the Start menu. It still shows up as Windows ME, but we can no longer move program groups or icons in the Start menu. And let's open up My Computer. As you can see, it looks like it does in Windows 95, but with some different colors. Most of the icons look the same. And we'll go to the display properties, and we can see we no longer have the stretch option for wallpaper. That's the only thing I don't like about 98 Lite, is you get rid of that option, which can be annoying on certain desktop backgrounds. So let's go back into the 98 Lite setup, and we'll do the Take Control option, which will allow us to remove a bunch of stuff that Windows normally doesn't let you remove. Alright, we'll tell it to add new setup options. There we go. And I just noticed that the date and time has been reset to January 4th of 1980. PCM can be a little bit finicky at times with its date and time settings in its BIOS, so no surprise there. So it's now a little under 10 years before I'm even born. I shouldn't even be making this video. Bad joke, I know. Okay, so we'll go to Configure Windows, and as you may recall from the first video I did about 98 Lite, the big feature here is you can get rid of Internet Explorer, and there's also DOS command line utilities and drivers we can remove, which I doubt is a whole lot, considering that Windows ME loves to hide MS-DOS, unfortunately. So we'll go ahead and get rid of Internet Explorer 5.5, I believe it is. And that will make our copy of Windows ME all that less bloated. So we'll restart again. Okay, so now, except for a few required files that Windows needs, Internet Explorer is completely removed from Windows ME right now. Well, it will be once it finishes updating the settings, and after a restart, again, you don't have to do this in Windows 98, but I guess with Windows ME there's an extra step involved. Okay, here we go. Hopefully this will be it for good. So now even the MSN icon is missing from the desktop, which is interesting. So yeah, as you can see, it pretty much behaves just like it does in Windows 98. Replaces most of the Explorer elements with the elements from Windows 95. And as I've said before, 98 Lite is a great option if your computer, the computer you're using is a little bit underpowered and doesn't really support the speed of 98 and ME, but you still want the hardware and software compatibility that the two operating systems provide. Now, I would still recommend, if you're going to use 98 Lite, using it with Windows 98 instead. But that's just my personal preference. But anyway, I hope you found this video informative and entertaining. Until next time, this is Billy Core, signing off. Thank you for visiting the Nostalgia Mall. If you liked what you saw, please like, subscribe, and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also support me on Patreon if you would like. The link to all of these are down below. Until next time, this is Billy Core, signing off.